Imagine this. Two banking giants standing across from each other on the global stage, their names echoing through history, their influence shaping the way money flows around the world. On one side, Chase, the American powerhouse, tied to Wall Street, with roots reaching deep into the financial system of the United States. On the other, Barclays, a bank older than many nations, born in London centuries ago, a name that has weathered wars, empires, and revolutions. This isn't just a comparison of banks, it's a clash between two symbols of power, legacy, and ambition. The question isn't only who leads the international market today, but who is truly prepared to dominate tomorrow. Chase, part of JP Morgan Chase, is not just a bank, it's the largest financial institution in the United States. Its influence stretches across investment banking, consumer finance, and corporate lending. Every time you swipe a Chase credit card or see its name on a skyscraper, you're witnessing the weight of a trillion-dollar empire at work. But Barclays is no lightweight. Founded in 1690, it has outlived monarchs, survived the Napoleonic Wars, financed the Industrial Revolution, and helped shape the modern banking system itself. This isn't a story of new money versus old money. This is old power versus consolidated might. Think about it. When Chase makes a move, the world listens. It's deeply tied to American capitalism, serving as a lifeline to millions of households while backing some of the largest corporations on earth. Yet Barclays carries a different kind of weight. The weight of heritage, of credibility built over centuries, of trust embedded in global markets from London to Hong Kong. Which would you bet on? The colossal engine of US finance or the ancient navigator of global trade? But here's where it gets shocking. Barclays may have the history, but history alone doesn't keep you alive in a cutthroat financial battlefield. In 2008, when the world trembled during the financial crisis, Chase stood strong, absorbing the wreckage of collapsing banks and even expanding its reach. Barclays, on the other hand, made headlines by swooping in to purchase the remains of Lehman Brothers in the US. A bold move that kept it in the spotlight, but also tied its name to one of the darkest moments in banking history. One bank grew stronger from the chaos, the other risked everything to stay relevant, and yet survival tells a story of its own. Barclays remains a cornerstone of European finance, while Chase continues to tighten its grip on America and beyond. But as international banking becomes less about borders and more about digital connections, can tradition keep Barclays ahead? Or will Chase's sheer scale crush the competition? If this face-off between titans is blowing your mind already, hit that like button right now. Because what comes next will make you question everything you thought you knew about global banking. Now ask yourself, in a world where speed, innovation, and trust are everything, which bank would you trust to hold your future? Let's strip away the mystique and look at raw strength. Chase operates with assets surpassing $3 trillion. That's larger than the GDP of entire countries. This scale gives Chase an undeniable advantage, the ability to outlend, outinvest, and outmaneuver competitors in ways few institutions on Earth can match. Its dominance in the US means it can leverage one of the strongest consumer markets in the world, building a fortress around its financial empire. But Barclays, while smaller in total assets, has something Chase can't replicate as easily, an international DNA that runs through its veins. Barclays doesn't just play in London, it operates across Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. For generations, it has mastered the art of banking beyond borders, adapting to regulatory systems, currencies, and cultures that would overwhelm most rivals. This flexibility makes Barclays a survivor, even when the tide shifts violently. Yet scale matters, and that's where Chase plays a merciless game. With massive technology budgets and a global reputation for stability, Chase invests billions every year into innovation. Its mobile banking app alone has tens of millions of active users, turning a once slow-moving giant into a digital predator. But Barclays fires back in areas where Chase has been cautious. Its early entry into international credit card markets gave it strongholds in places where American banks had little presence. It became a household name in regions far beyond the UK, embedding itself into everyday financial life in a way Chase has only recently begun to replicate. Barclays thrives where borders blur, while Chase thrives where money concentrates. Which model is stronger in the age of globalization? That's a battle still being fought. Now, let's talk about weaknesses. Chase, despite its might, is sometimes seen as too big, too bureaucratic, too tied to the weight of US regulations. Its dominance in America is a strength, but it's also a cage. Barclays, on the other hand, has struggled with scandals, from interest rate manipulation to compliance failures that shook its credibility. Public trust is a fragile currency, and when it slips, rebuilding it takes decades. One is weighed down by size, the other is haunted by reputation. Here's the brutal truth. Both banks stand tall, but their cracks are visible. Chase could stumble under the burden of its own complexity. Barclays could falter under the shadow of its past mistakes. And in the ruthless world of international banking, hesitation is death. What's your take on this? Drop it in the comments. Your perspective could change the debate. Because here asks the real question. Is it better to be the biggest player in one country or a master of adaptation across the world? Look at where the money actually moves today. Chase is deeply woven into the fabric of the American economy, but it's no longer content with borders. It's been planting its flag overseas, opening branches in London, Frankfurt, and other financial capitals, trying to expand its reach in markets Barclays has called home for centuries. This signals something massive. Chase is no longer just America's bank. It is setting its sights on becoming a true global contender. But can it win on someone else's turf, where Barclays has spent lifetimes building influence? Barclays, meanwhile, leans heavily on its international heritage. From financing global trade routes in the 19th century to pioneering modern credit cards in the 20th, Barclays has always thrived on innovation abroad. In Africa, it left a deep footprint. In Europe, it remains a vital link in the financial chain. In Asia, its strategic presence has kept it relevant even as new players rise. Barclays has never been about sheer size. It's about reach, agility, and knowing how to adapt to shifting winds. But here's the twist. The future of banking isn't only about physical branches or even credit cards. It's about technology. Digital banking, artificial intelligence, blockchain integration. These are the weapons of tomorrow. And Chase is spending billions every year to dominate this battlefield. Its app isn't just a convenience, it's a fortress with seamless money transfers, investment tools, and customer service that rivals tech giants. If the future belongs to whoever controls the digital wallet, Chase is positioning itself as the gatekeeper. Barclays, however, isn't asleep. It has made strides in fintech partnerships, digital-first accounts, and cross-border payment systems that rival anything Chase is building. Its challenge isn't vision, it's budget. When Chase spends $10 billion on tech, Barclays might spend a fraction of that. But sometimes agility beats brute force. The question is, can Barclays innovate fast enough to counter Chase's overwhelming financial firepower? Think about this. In a world moving toward cashless economies, where your phone replaces your wallet and your bank feels more like an app than a marble building, who wins? The titan with the largest war chest, or the global player with centuries of experience weaving through uncertainty? If this global showdown between banking giants has you hooked, make sure you subscribe right now to catch every deep dive we unleash, because the real storm is just ahead, and the risks neither bank wants you to see might be their undoing. Here's where the story sharpens into danger and opportunity. Both Chase and Barclays may look untouchable, but the cracks in the system run deeper than most imagine. Chase, with its colossal size, carries risks that mirror the American economy itself. If the US dollar trembles, if regulations shift, or if political winds turn hostile, Chase could feel the shockwaves instantly. Its power is tied to stability. But what happens if stability itself collapses? Barclays faces a different storm. Its reputation, scarred by past scandals, is always on trial in the court of public opinion. Every misstep, every compliance error, every brush with controversy sends ripples across its international image. Trust, once broken, doesn't return easily. And in global banking, trust is everything. Without it, even centuries of history can't save you. But inside these risks lie opportunities. Chase has the cash reserves, the technological dominance, and the sheer momentum to reinvent itself as not just a bank, but a financial ecosystem. Imagine a world where your investments, your payments, your loans, and your digital identity all exist under the Chase umbrella. That's the empire it's building. Barclays, meanwhile, has the agility to slip into markets where Chase moves too slowly, to form alliances where Chase sees only numbers, and to leverage its global reach to capture customers in places where US giants struggle to plant roots. So here's the reflection. This isn't a simple fight of who's bigger or older. It's a war between two visions of the future. Chase, the unstoppable juggernaut with money as its weapon. Barclays, the seasoned navigator of international waters, turning adaptability into survival. Both can win. Both can lose. But only one will define the next era of global banking dominance. Now, here's where you step in. Whose vision do you trust more with your money? The raw scale of Chase or the worldly adaptability of Barclays? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is more than debate. It's the future of how the world banks. If this battle between financial titans shook your perspective, hit that like button to keep this conversation alive. And if you crave more high-stakes comparisons that reveal the hidden truths of money, power, and the systems that run our lives, subscribe right now to Wealth Unlocked. Don't just watch the game of global finance. Understand it, challenge it, and unlock it.